Good afternoon. My name is Katja Mann. I'm the pre-med and foundation course leader at the University of Buckingham in Biomedical Sciences. And I'm talking today about our BSc in Biomedical Sciences. Before I want to talk about our specific program, I want to just briefly identify what biomedical sciences is. People aren't always quite clear about that. Biomedical sciences are basically the applications of natural sciences in the field of medicine. And as you can imagine, this is a very wide field. And the sciences that we apply are chiefly biology, chemistry, physics, and geosciences. Let me talk a little bit about specializations, because biomedical sciences still are, often taught as separate sciences. And examples for specialisms are immunology, biochemistry, biophysics, mathematical biology, cytopathology, physiology, molecular biology, developmental biology, neuroscience, clinical genetics, virology, and pharmacology. And there are many, many more, and increasingly so. However, many biomedical sciences don't specialize quite so much, certainly not early in their career, because biomedical sciences are very interdisciplinary, and biomedical scientists often sit at the points where medicine and basic science meets. I just want to briefly talk about the career path that takes you through a typical career in biomedical sciences. Now, when I studied, this was the well-trodden path, and with a few detours, very much the path I took. So people do a BSc either in one of the biomedical sciences, in my case, biophysics, and then perhaps an MSc, or often nowadays an MSc, followed by a PhD. Then you do a bit of postdocing in a lab, in a research laboratory, teaching experience or qualifications, and that leads to a lectureship. And that is the well-trodden path, the normal old school career path, if you will, of biomedical sciences. This is, of course, very much alive still. However, the modern reality, you can see about a third of students leaving biomedical sciences find a graduate job outside the field. One of the things that you will pick up in abundance is transferable skills. You'll be very numerate and very able to handle statistics, to apply knowledge from one field in another. You'll be a good speaker and writer. So a lot of our graduates go completely outside of the field. Examples here are accountancy, law, management, publishing, marketing, finance, or government. A further third go on to higher or further education, do teaching degrees, masters, PhDs, or go into medical school or dental school after studying biomedical sciences, or become nurses or physiotherapists or the like. And then the last third also remain in science, either become an NHS clinical scientist or biomedical scientists, or qualify as dietitians or audiologists or anything like that. And then some people go into the bioscience industry where they work in pharmaceuticals research and so on. And I'm going to go into a little more detail there. These are just some of the careers recent graduates have gone to. Academic science, that's the path I took. Research and development in biotech industry, sales, often for pharmaceuticals or biotech, management consultancy. A lot of graduates go on to study medicine as graduate entrants. Science publications, so scientific writers, books, journals, but also science publications for companies, if they want to describe their products. Go into pharmaceuticals, from sales to research, teaching, policy and funding. This can be in government or local government organizations. That can also be in granting bodies, policy bodies. And of course, politicians have a lot of scientific advisors. Laboratory technicians, some of our graduates went into journalism, became NHS biomedical scientists, or went into patent law. Now, that's a huge array of possible careers. And how do you possibly decide? How do you choose one over the other? Of course, there are many criteria, and not all of these will apply to you. Job security is one, intellectual development, money, how much decision-making power do you have? What's your degree of autonomy in your job? Location, so some of the pharmaceuticals or universities there tend to be in big cities. Mobility, do you want to move around? If so, perhaps research is your career. Personal interests, skills and talents, and career development. So each of these particular paths has their own set of these criteria, and you need to find the one that is right for you. Now, how do we get you there? Well, we really get you started. We get you started with a BSc in Biomedical Sciences at the University of Buckingham. Like all of the University of Buckingham's degrees, actually not all, medicine's longer. We are the home of the 2-year degree. We have a September start. You will start with what we call level 4, which is what in a traditional university would be called year 1. Level 5 would be year 2, and level 6 would be year 3. And as you can see, we condensed that into September to May for level 4, May to January for level 5, and January to July, level 6. So you will be finished in July, ready to start whatever postgraduate course or job you want that particular autumn. Our breaks are shorter than usual universities, but there are plenty of breaks. You'll have 8 to 10 weeks of holidays a year, which is slightly more than you will have once you have entered the workforce. And our students find it plenty of holiday. They tend to be in 2-week blocks rather than the huge 2-3 months blocks that you get at universities where you study 3-year degrees. Now, what do you study? You saw earlier I was talking about all these different possible careers, and as you can imagine, you can't study all of these in a biomedical science degree. The point is that you're learning how you acquire these skills and that you touch on as many of these specialisms as possible. So at level 4, we have some very basic biomedical sciences, matters and energy in medicine. This is really quite a lot of physics and chemistry for the life sciences with applied examples. This is largely taught in tutorials and practicals. There are also lectures. Molecular and cellular biology. This is, again, very basic biomedical sciences, foundation for the rest of your studies, really. Taught in tutorials, practicals, and lectures. And then our 3 applied modules. These are systems-based: brain-muscle coordination, circulation and fluid balance, and guts, hormones, metabolism. These are entirely systems-based modules where you study anatomy, physiology, pathology, quite a lot of biochemistry, a bit of pharmacology, and of course, the basic science, chemistry and physics for life sciences come into this as well. These are taught largely in lectures and PBLs. So this is problem-based learning. It's a way of learning that many medical schools have very successfully applied for many years. So we give you a clinical problem and you work your way through this particular clinical problem, clinical example, applying all the skills you've learned in the lectures. You begin at level 4 with your research skills. And at level 4, we teach skills in science. So there you learn a little bit about how would we plan a project? How do we even ask an answerable question? How do we do literature research? How do we judge good from bad or good enough from not good enough? How would you plan an experiment? How would you apply for funding? But also very basic stats and a little bit of writing, publishing, presenting data. Once you have passed level 4, so at the end of level 4, there's a synoptic exam where all of the modules count equally. And you, over 3 days, get tested on all of your skills. Once you have passed that, you will go into level 5. In level 5, you will study 3 modules: hematology and transfusion science, clinical pharmacology and pathology, and clinical immunology and microbiology. You will also at level 5 study integrated research skills, where we further your knowledge in writing, presenting, data analysis, data extraction, tools you can use, including computational tools to present and analyze data, to create mathematical models of disease or physiology. And then again, at the end of level 5, there's a synoptic exam that you need to pass. Once you've passed that, you go into level 6, where you will study clinical biochemistry, clinical genetics, clinical pharmacology and pathology, and you will write a dissertation. So at level 6, look after you as you are planning and executing your independent project. And at the end of this, write a dissertation and present your findings to the faculty and your fellow students. So this is really what we teach over the 2 years. We hope that you, at the end of that, have a good set of transferable skills and fairly good insight into biomedical sciences. We, of course, help you in further steps where you, depending on where you want to go, which career path you want to take. And I've put another slide in here containing additional qualifications you might need to get. Some of these we can help you with. You might need, if you want to take the academic path or work in research and development, you might need a master's or a PhD. If you want to go into teaching or academia, you might need teaching qualification. You might want to go on to do medicine or dentistry, so you need an MBBS or other medical qualification, or you might want to do patent law, you need a legal qualification. We can help you, of course, enter universities where you can do those. We can suggest where you go with these. You might need some skills and experiences. Some of these you will learn with us. Cell culture techniques and in vivo techniques, laboratory experience, you will have a limited amount of that with us. If you want to go into research, of course, you will need a PhD and gain much more of that. Health and safety training, ethics training, animal licenses. We don't do the licenses and during your degree, but you will learn quite a lot about that, and you will at the end of that be completely aware of what you might need for your particular chosen career path. Other things, languages, driving licenses, international experience, computer skills, writing and speaking skills. We do, of course, teach you the last 2 or the last 3 computer skills and your writing and speaking skills. I can't help with the languages and the driving license, obviously, but these are all things to keep in mind, simply because if you need them for your particular career path, it might be a good idea to start them sooner rather than later. I'd like to talk a little bit about where we are. We are situated in Crewe on a 40-acre campus. It's a very green campus, beautiful. Our student accommodation is just across the road. So here's our campus, and across the road is the student accommodation booth hall. It's a 10-minute walk to Crewe Station. From Crewe Station, it's a 30-minute train to Manchester or Liverpool, and a 90-minute train ride to London. There's nowhere in the UK you can't easily reach from Crewe Station. So it very much is a railway town. The student accommodation just across the road from us is a new purpose-built block. 5-minute walk. I'd make that a 2-minute walk, 5 minutes, because you might have classes at the other end of the campus. There are study and social spaces. Accommodation is guaranteed to all first-year students. Currently, we can also guarantee it for second-year students. It's a 790-room hall of residence. You will live together with 5 other students in a flat. Every room is en suite, so you have your own bathroom, your own little desk, and of course bedroom. And you will share a kitchen and sort of social area with usually 4 or 5 other students in a flat. Some of us lecturers, myself included, also stay at Booth Hall for some of the week. I'm commuting from London. It is that easy to do. I've just put in a few pointers where you can find out more. Do get in contact, email the admissions team. The admissions team will always forward queries to the academics if needed, if they can't answer them. You can find us on all sorts of social media, and I hope you will be in contact. And now I think it is time for questions.
Thank you, Katja. Yes, visitors, you can pop your questions into the chat if you like. Otherwise, if you have also other questions after this session, please feel free to email us info@buckingham.ac.uk. No questions? Well, I believe, Katja, was a very good presentation then.
Do we have a student in? I just wondered if it might be an idea to hand over the word to our student rep.
We have some colleagues here from the admission team if you want to say a word. All right, so I believe, yeah, if we can end the session maybe, Katja, unless you have something to add.
Get in touch with admissions, ask questions about admissions. They will let you know what the criteria are. We are a small university. We can always get back in contact. We can meet you. And I hope I see some of you in September.
Yeah, one thing just to add from me, but I can see some names and I know you've attended sessions before, but if you want to visit our campus in Crewe, please email tours@buckingham.ac.uk and we can book a tour for you. And you can meet our student ambassadors, and you can also obviously meet our academics and ask all your questions. All right. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chloe, for that. Yeah, we have the admissions team email address as well in the chat if you need to. Thank you very much all. Thank you.